Fresh Bake, we are back for an update on construction progress going on around the Disneyland Resort, and we're starting in an unusual fashion today on top of the Mickey Friends parking structure because I heard a rumor, and I want to talk to you about it. We're looking right now backstage. This is behind Galaxy's Edge, obviously, behind Rise of Resistance, etc. But it is also the backstage area for Toontown. I would say that the proper, you can kind of see that not the building in the foreground, but the building behind it is one of the warehouses or backstage areas for Toontown. You can see the backdrop of Toontown right here. That's the green trees that provide the backdrop for Toontown. And the rumor that I heard was that cast members who work in those areas were being told that that area was being closed in March. Or something to that effect. That's not exactly definitive proof of anything, but it does kind of make you ask, is something happening? Because one of the things that we've been talking about recently was the potential. We thought we were going to hear about this already, the potential that Mickey's Runaway Railway was headed for Toontown in that exact area, where that building is now, and the building behind it. Those two buildings, I believe, were going to be demoed to make room for Mickey's Runaway Railway. Now, as I mentioned, we thought that rumor was already going to have been confirmed by now, but it wasn't. I forget which conference it was. It was an East Coast deal in Florida, I think. And then the thought was perhaps they're going to announce it at D23 this summer, and that could be the case. They would need to start working on this pretty soon, I guess. Now, I can't remember the last time Disney started a process before making a formal announcement. Galaxy's Edge was announced and concept art revealed before they'd even, put a single shovel in the ground backstage. As a matter of fact, all those areas were still operational at the time of the announcement. So the timing is a little bit weird if they were planning on doing a D23 announcement. All that having been said, it's just a lot of conjecture. Now, one other thing that is interesting when we talk about this is that warehouse right there that is behind the Millennium Falcon attraction. That's normally where they keep parade floats and stuff. That is empty, or at least the view that we can see is of an empty warehouse. Now, again, I'm just speculating. This is not a proof of anything. I'm just saying that's interesting that we've heard this announcement that they're going to close parts of the backstage area. Now, that is not the backstage area behind Toontown. Again, that is not Toontown or Backstage Toontown. That is just a warehouse that is behind Galaxy's Edge. So I don't know if those two stories are related or not, but, it's coincidence perhaps. But still fun to speculate, isn't it? Right? What if these are signals that Toontown is getting Mickey's Runaway Railway. And stay tuned, because I'm going to have more thoughts on that possibility. Because the Toontown story and Galaxy's Edge are obviously connected. So in tomorrow's update on the Knothole Gang, I'm going to provide some thoughts on what this would mean, what a Toontown, Mickey's Runaway Railway would mean for Galaxy's Edge. But let's continue on with our report. We'll head over to DCA to take a ride on the Pixar Pal Around to take a look and see what's going on at Marvel Land. And like last week, there's our view of dirt and the areas that have been uncovered or demoed of It's Tough to Be a Bug Theater. No real news to report here. Things are looking about the same. Those lone trees back there are still there. Lots of dirt. But as we pan to the right, a thing that I missed last week that we'll talk about this week. Well, we're going to start actually. This week I can see that tree really well. And I thought, oh, okay, well, are they already bringing in trees? Because that would seem like an odd thing to do. At this point, they wouldn't bring in trees, right? Would they? It's too early for that, I would think. Trees don't start coming in until you're at least getting vertical, I would think. So I looked back at last week's footage. And the tree was still there. And now it's not plant. I don't know if, do they plant these things? Are agriculturalists or however, horticulturalists or arborists, I don't know, pick your term. When you put a tree in the ground, do you plant it whole? Like, does it stay in the planter? Like, we can see the planter there now. If we look at the last image, it looks to me like that tree maybe was in the ground once, and they may have taken it out of the ground inside the planter. Is that how it's done? Because it seems like it would be a natural thing if that's the case. That can't be right, right? Is that right? How does that work? Because then the roots still grow, don't they? I ask because in a lot of cases, when they clear lands for new development, they buzz the trees down. They don't just dig them out. I don't know. You guys educate me on this concept, if you don't mind, and we'll continue. The other thing that folks noticed from last week that I didn't was that the green no-seam wall was removed, and here it is last week. That's that green wall that's there in layers. Was there as of this is, I think, 3 weeks ago, that wall there, and then today it is no longer there. So I'm not sure if that means anything. what to infer from that, other than that's just another progression in the land's evolution. And I don't know what I'm looking for here. That's good. Oh, that's right. This thing moves, so I get lost sometimes because I've got to reorient myself because we are currently going in a circle. There's some looks like some green. I forget what those green things mean. Here it is. A few weeks ago, this is what the ground looked like with the rubble, etc. And now that has been smoothed out, and they started putting in those identifiers. I think those are markers for water. Perhaps is that. Again, refresh my memory on that, Fresh Bake. What do the green, the teal green vertical pipes mean? What do they indicate? I think it's water. And I'm just looking for anything now, but I'll give it up. Now, one thing I noticed, now that the wall's down, you get a clearer view of what's happening behind the potential Marvel Land. And it made me think, what's going on behind that? So I pointed the camera, and this is something I don't have anything that we can look back on, in previous updates. So that's something that I may have to watch going forward. But I want to find out if anything happens in these backstage areas behind Tower of Terror, where they park the streetcars, etc. I feel like we've got maybe a cleaner line of sight for this as well, because there used to be a lot of trees blocking our view there. So I think I'm going to start paying attention to this area to see if we observe any demo or anything like that, which would give us a clue to phase 2 plans perhaps of Marvel Land, because there's a couple of options, right? In phase 2, there's the option: do they expand behind Tower of Terror in those backstage areas, or do they co-opt the back lot and then build out into the transit hub where the bus drop-offs are for Toy Story? Those are a couple of the options. So if they don't announce anything, this could be a way for us to get a clue what their intentions are. So I don't know that we'll be doing this every week, but that is one direction to be looking. Now let's turn around and see what's happening at Emotional Whirlwind, where we can see some constructionizers doing some work down there. It looks like you can see, gosh, they put up a lot of forms back there. I don't know if that's for Q or just to define, sort of the perimeter of the attraction. It doesn't look like it's going to be for Planner though, like the other ones, which we are on our way over to see the Q for Emotional Whirlwind. There we go. Those areas there in the left of the frame are certainly for planners, I think. And then as we kind of move our way to the right, we can see that they have taken off the red toppers, which were just for protection, I've been told, which I knew that. I forgot. Because I remember seeing something like that at Galaxy's Edge. But yeah, so it looks like they've gone on to the next phase of this. As a matter of fact, it looks like they've added another ring of whatever those things are. It looks like an inner ring closer to the base So there you go. I'm really looking forward. Guys, I'm actually kind of excited. I'm not thrilled with the ride mechanism itself. Flix Flyers, it's all right. I mean, it's a thing. It's a spinner. I'm not too crazy about spinners, but I am excited about what their creative ideas are for this attraction in terms of the color. One of the things that I like best about DCA is going to DCA at night, going to Pixar Pier at night, and with all the lights and all the color that you can see, it really is quite nice. And so I'm kind of curious to find out what potential they have. What do they have in mind for Emotional Whirlwind? Because there's a lot of color in Inside Out. Because obviously the moods are all a color. So right, it's sort of teacup level or beyond, perhaps, of lighting effects. I love the teacup lights. I love watching people ride the cups at night because it looks so fun. I'm a sucker for that kind of thing. Let's continue. Let's go back to Disneyland and take a look at one of the construction walls are down, and you can see that they have done just what we were suspecting they were going to do, and they have flattened out that curb right there as you approach the Emporium. Previously, that was a regular curb where guests had to navigate, with their strollers or whatever. They had to work their way over that curb, and I guess the idea here is that approaching from this angle, guests are not expecting a curb. You are when you cross a street, but not when you haven't, going from one side of the street to the other. You sort of expect a curb when you're moving laterally. But when you're walking along the width of the curb, it's a little harder, I suppose, to sense that curb coming, and that may have caused traffic jams in this area. And that is exactly what this is for. This is to relieve congestion, and they're trying to make it easier, I guess, for guest traffic flow. That's all this is. Now, while this one is done, they've put up another one across the street. And so there's that. Now, what that has done is prevented any Main Street vehicles. I wanted to ride a vehicle that day, but we couldn't. So they've got the fire truck just chilling over here where you can get your picture taken with it, but no Main Street vehicles at all until that curb is done. Down to the hub, into the castle. Look at how beautiful that castle is. It's just iconic. Still just a scrim. It's going to be a while before we see anything there, or for anything here, I guess. Astro Orbiter's in the same state we left it last week as well. Nothing has come back, and nothing else has been taken. Same state as it was last week. As we can also say for the Mark Twain loading area or waiting area, that's under high scrim. You can't see anything in there, but a lot of scaffolding. So whatever they're doing is it's site wide, I guess is the only way to put it. Hey, look, you guys can see me. That's me right now, trying to get as high as I can to see if I can't see in it, as opposed to on the side of it. But I couldn't see in it. But that's as high as I could get. Fresh baked. And here's a look down below. Again, you can't see anything, but that's more scaffolding down there. My guess is just general appearance updates. And then finally, we didn't get a very good look at this last week because I forgot. But here's the backside of the castle now with all the walls and Maleficent Dragon. That's pretty neat. You know what? What if Disney? Let's just get blue sky, you guys. What if Disney just said, you know what? The hell with it. Hell with it. If a giant dragon is good enough for Harry Potter Town in Orlando, let's put a Maleficent Dragon on the backside of the castle. Like for real. Like a real dragon. What? Just put that out there, Fresh Baked. I want to hear what you guys think about that. I want to know if you think you would be into a Maleficent Dragon, a practical dragon sort of trying to scale the backside of this castle. Is that something you'd be interested in? Let us know, Fresh Baked. And until next time, thanks for watching. Like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of the Knothole Gang with another Galaxy's Edge update. And until then, thanks for watching, guys. Fresh Baked! We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!